Welcome to MetaGrid Quick Guide, a short video tutorial that will teach you how to create your custom workspace in MetaGrid by adding and editing buttons, views, and scenes for your favorite applications on Mac or PC. After you have connected MetaGrid to your computer, the first thing you will notice is that MetaGrid reacts to changing applications in focus on your Mac or PC. When you switch between your desktop applications, MetaGrid changes the application icon in the navigation bar and displays the view set created for the application that is currently in focus. There are default view sets for popular DAW applications like Cubase, Logic, or Studio One, but for most applications you will see a blank space, the default empty view with all the buttons hidden, waiting for you to configure them. Let's start from scratch and add some buttons for Sketch, a popular digital design software for Mac. Open Sketch on your Mac and make sure MetaGrid has recognized it by displaying the respective icon on the navigation bar. MetaGrid is not shipped with a dedicated view set for Sketch, so all you can see is a blank screen and a couple of buttons in the bottom section of the screen. Tap Edit to enter the edit mode, and here come our buttons. Currently they are set as hidden and are visible only in the edit mode. Now MetaGrid will not react to switching applications on your computer. The changes will affect only the view set for the application that was in focus on your computer when you tap the edit button. In our case, it was Sketch. Let's make our first button in MetaGrid, shall we? Tap the button you want to edit. The button editor screen will appear with multiple configuration options for each button. In the center section, there is the button preview that reflects your choices made in the button background and icon settings sections. Enter the text that will be displayed on the button and tap Color to set the background color. Each button can have an icon assigned. Tap Icon to choose from over 2,000 icons ranging from digital audio workstation and music notation icons to general computing graphics. Tap Icon Color to specify the color for the selected icon. The Show Icon Only option hides the text, and the Border Only option removes color fill. To make the button appear on the main screen, tap Hide Show. The blue dot in the upper right corner indicates that this button is visible and is accessible on the main screen. You can easily toggle the visibility status by double-tapping the button on the grid in the edit mode. Tap Close to exit the edit mode. Here is our button. It is visible on the main screen and is reacting to touch. It is not doing anything because we haven't assigned it any action yet. Let's add an action. Tap Edit to enter the edit mode and tap the button named Color Picker. Tap here to open the action editor. Tap the plus icon to add an action. The Color Picker function in Sketch is triggered by pressing Ctrl and C on your computer keyboard, so tap the Ctrl symbol and select C. You can add multiple actions to create powerful macros. Use the pause command to give your computer time to process macro components. To remove an action, swipe right and tap Delete. Swipe left to clone or copy-paste the action. To reorder actions, touch and hold an action and drag it down or up to the target location. You can see the preview of your changes in the Assigned Actions section. Now let's see our first button in action on the main screen. Ta-da! Works fine. If you want to change its position on the grid, long press and drag it to the target location on the grid. You can also swipe down on the button with one finger and tap another button. This will make these two buttons swap their position. For supported applications like Cubase, You don't have to use keyboard shortcuts and can access thousands of commands directly in MetaGrid. Press the arrow on the right of the text box to use the action text as the button text. Now let's talk about views. For each application on your computer, you can create multiple views that can be displayed with scene buttons, shift buttons, or the buttons on the grid. Let's have a look at the default view set for Cubase. It features 6 scenes. These are dedicated buttons on the scene bar, which switch between various views. To preview the available views, tap Edit and tap View Editor. By default, there are 6 views available for Cubase, each assigned to a dedicated scene. Tap Edit Scenes to go to the Scene List screen, where you can create and edit scenes. Each scene has a primary view assigned that is displayed after tapping on this scene button. You can also assign a secondary view to a scene and use shift buttons to toggle between primary and secondary view. Now let's go back to Sketch to create a new view. Set Sketch as the application in focus on your computer. Tap Edit and tap View Editor. Tap New. This will create a new view with the default grid size. Enter the view name and change its grid size and create one button. Tap Close to exit the edit mode, and your new view is gone. That's because MetaGrid always shows the view assigned to the currently selected scene. To create a new scene for Sketch, in the Edit mode, tap Edit Scenes and tap New. Name it Layers and make it look nice by selecting the color and the icon. Tap Primary View and select Layers. Tap Close and exit the Edit mode. Press the Layers scene to show the newly created view named Layers. You can also assign a view to a button on the grid. I have imported a custom view for Sketch called Inserting Layers, and now I want to assign it to a new button in the view named Layers. In the button editor, tap Assigned View and select the Inserting Layers view. And here we go. It displays the Inserting Layers view. In the top left corner, you will see the name of the previous view. Tap it or swipe left with 2 fingers to go back to the previous view. You can also configure a button to perform the assigned action and automatically go back to the previous view. You can also temporarily lock a view to a scene by long pressing the currently selected scene button. The lock icon will appear that indicates that your primary view has been temporarily overwritten with other view. Long press the scene button again to remove the lock. Now you are familiar with the MetaGrid basics and are ready to create your custom workspaces in MetaGrid. For more information, watch other MetaGrid tutorials and read the MetaGrid user manual available at www.metasystem.io.